knife, I need a knife, I need a knife. Barnaby, I need a knife. Nobody's here yet. We're fine. Okay, somebody's here. Hello. Let me write this down. Chicken. Oh, right on cue. Wraps. Hello. Did I do it? I did it. Hi guys. We're gonna make chicken wraps today. I have chicken wraps made, already in the fridge, and then I have chicken wrap dough, or whatever you want to call it, ready to go, ready to roll out. So this is an old recipe. I did this in August, but I hadn't put it on my blog yet. And I'm doing carnivore this week. So I thought this would be a good sort of thing to do on my cook-along, because I'm still trying to get 2 up a week. So it forced me to put this recipe on my website. You're fine, Barnaby. Sticking to my schedule forced me to get the recipe finally up on my website, and I still get to do my carnivore experiment. Look at this. What? What? We just went for a walk. You're so goofy. So, this recipe is now posted on my website. This is about 9 ounces of chicken. I'm not gonna light my kitchen on fire. 9 ounces of chicken, 2 eggs, and I put my paddle attachment in, and I let this mix on low for about 10 minutes. I've never tried it in the food processor, but other people have and told me that it works really, really well. You can use this as a substitute for tortillas in like stuffed, loaded, like wet burritos and enchiladas. I've even used it for lasagna. I've used it in, I made this like white chicken chili casserole and used it in place of like a regular tortilla. All right, so this is my batter. And I am going to roll it out to fit this sheet. This piece of parchment is exactly the same size as like a half sheet baking sheet. And this thinness works really well. So I'm just going to roll it out. I don't think this is quite as exciting as like Danishes and stuff because there's not that many people here today. Danishes are pretty exciting. Fancy, fancy desserts are pretty exciting. And this is great too because pieces that like squish out the sides, just throw right back in. Hello! How was everybody's weekend? One live we had a very exciting, like somebody was getting ready for a first date. Do we have any exciting weekend stories to share? I went to Canada to visit my podcast partner Heather. And we did a Pretty Tipsy live, which was fun. No questions, Barnaby. They're so put off by all your whining. All your whining. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff that's squishing out the sides and putting it back in the corners. Same thing on this side. Has anybody done carnivore before that's here this week? I mean, that's here today on my live? Nobody? Nobody? Lots of people? No one? People sick. Are my comments paused, or are people just, they already know everything they need to know and nobody has anything to say and I finally hit my live threshold where no one wants to talk to me? It's gotta be one of those. We'll see. So anyways, my podcast partner and I decided to do carnivore for a week because we like doing experiments. It's a piece of actual chicken. And our last experiment was kind of a fail because we did intermittent fasting and I am so bad at it. Anyways, and then I had one of those weeks where like nothing I planned worked out. And we've been meaning to do another experiment for a while. And I've done carnivore before once, and I really liked it. So we thought that would be a good place to pick up where we left off with the keto experiments. I see no comments, so don't yell at me if you're asking me things. I can't see them. And if you're not asking me things, then I'm just talking. All right. So we are rolled out to all four corners of my baking sheet. Well, my baking sheet sized piece of parchment. And actually, in the oven, I have some of those Parmesan crisps that I made today. They are so good. So good. So I've made 3 or 4 batches trying to get the baking time down right. And I think I finally have it nailed. I think it's 275 for 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to peel the top layer off because we want this to cook exposed to the heat. And I want to cook it on my parchment. So I'm just going to use the same baking sheet and I'm going to pull right on. So it does shrink up a tiny bit, so I'm not worried about the corners that are hitting. And I'm going to stick it in my oven, which is 350 for 15 minutes. So I got to turn this up. Timer. 15 minutes. Still no questions. I really hope it's just stuck. It is stuck! Oh my gosh, it was just stuck. You're not seeing them for some reason, which means you can't see them either, so why am I typing? Thank you! Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, whoops. I was like, people are finally, it took a while. People are finally sick of my shit. Hello, Rachel. Whew. Okay, unstuck. So I saw a question in there about, hi, Austin, Texas. Hello from Michigan. Ingredients are just chicken and eggs, and everything's on my website. I think when I pinned it, I used chicken breast that I had cooked in my sous vide, my warm water bath. Chicken is something I'm not that great at. Yay! People are talking. I feel like to cook it all the way through, if I'm cooking inside, like barbecue, no problem. Barbecue, no problem. Like putting chicken on a grill, no problem. But if I'm like cooking it in a pan or something, then I always feel like I cook it either too much and it's really dry or not enough and there's like a very questionable center. So I like to cook in my sous vide because it's really like no fail. I cook it for an hour or two at 165 and it's perfect every time. I can even show you what it looks like. Or can I? I thought I could. Anywho. Shh. So that is the kind of chicken that I use. Yeah, team dry chicken right here. So that is the kind of chicken that I use. People have told me when they tried my recipe, because again, I put this up in August, so it's been floating around for a little bit, that they have used leftover dark meat chicken, they have used canned chicken, they have used any kind of chicken. And because it doesn't have to be like freshly cooked, I find that it's a great way to use up, like if you cook a whole bunch of chicken breasts up, it's really, it's a really great way to sort of use up that chicken. Okay, so carnivore is just sort of like a subset of keto where all you eat is either meat or animal products. Heather is a giant badass, and she's doing beef, salt, and water, nothing else all week. She's crazy. I'm doing animal products, so meat, like a full-fat dairy, like I got heavy cream for my coffee, and I'm eating cheese and sour cream. I'm not doing any vegetables at all or any seasoning, so no vegetable oils, and only salt and pepper. I'm cheating a little bit because I got these smoked salts, which is great. There's a whole bunch of reasons. We'll talk about this when we do the podcast. We record next Tuesday. We're going to do this for a whole week, and then we're going to record next Tuesday. There's a whole bunch of reasons people do this. My friend, I have a cousin with Crohn's who does really well on carnivore. Friends, and can you have mayo on carnivore? It depends. If you're really, really like, if you're just sort of doing anti-plant, no plants, sure. If your mayo is made with bacon fat or lard, I'm not sure. I know that there are recipes out there for bacon fat mayo. I would feel so heavy without veggies. I know, the first time I did this, I thought it was going to be awful, and I felt great. Not so much better than normal keto that I would ever do this full time, but it is a fun experiment. Sometimes people do, egg fasts and beef and butter fasts and everything like that if they have really gone off plan and they're trying to get their carbs super, super low to get back into ketosis. I know there's a lot of people that do a lot of that. I don't tend to do that because I don't really break keto. So we're not trying to lose 100 pounds in a week. We're not trying to do anything weird. We are just doing it for fun, for an experiment. And like I said, Heather's the crazy one. Beef, salt, water. All right, so these are the chicken wraps I made earlier today. This is what they look like after they're baked. I stored them with a wet paper towel that I wring out and put in because they do dry out really quick. He knows his angles. So this one came out kind of thick. It's not as foldable as some that I've had, but I use these for everything. I use these, like the pictures that I have up on my website are from like a little quesadilla that I made, a wet burrito, like just seasoned beef filled, topped with sauce and cheese and baked, that white chicken chili enchilada. I make great breakfast burritos using these. So these chicken wraps, if you're using these in place of a tortilla, each one of these is 0.2 carbs, 0.2. So super duper low carb wrap. And I, weighed out 4 ounces of pulled pork. And I was going to make myself a little sandwich. Of course, I'm going to use the cutest one while my other stuff is cooking. But yeah, when I bake these, when I make them ahead of time, I always sort of store them with a damp paper towel because they do dry out really fast. I mean, I don't know. I feel like half of my instructions on my website are like, this dries out really fast. Store it in an airtight container. I don't know if it's just my house, my tastes, low carb stuff in general. What are the benefits? I'm assuming you're talking about carnivore. There's a couple. People actually have a lot of food sensitivities. Like if you hear people talking about nightshades, that is like tomatoes, eggplants, a lot of peppers. If you're doing an elimination diet, so if you are trying to test yourself for a reaction to dairy or anything else, you get everything else out of your diet except for meat. And then after 2 weeks, you slowly add things back in to test for sensitivities. There's a couple of reasons why people do it. Like I said, I did it before and I found that it really, I felt great, but I always feel good on keto, so I can't say that I felt amazing that I didn't go back, because I totally did. I went back. I didn't give up cheese because I don't really have a sensitivity to dairy. I want to fill it with a Greek salad. I know! So here's one of my little chicken wraps. I washed my counter. I have some pulled pork. This is probably too much. Yeah, this is going to be way too much. This is just the pulled pork that I got at Costco today. I love this stuff. It's like zero. Yeah, carnivore is usually no veggies at all. Wait. Meat, veggies, no dairy. No, I don't know about that one. Carnivore is usually just meat. There are subsets of subsets of subsets. There's zero carb carnivore, which is literally just meat, which is sort of what Heather's doing. I'm doing the just meat and animal products so that I can have my dairy because I love it. Speaking of dairy, have you ever seen a bigger tub of sour cream? Good Lord. This was like $3 at Costco. Somebody wrote me today and said, aren't you afraid that's going to go bad? And I said, yes, but a 1 pound package is $2.99, so how could I not get 3 pounds of sour cream? I hope this rolls. It'll be like my crepe fiasco. When I was giving a lesson on how to flip crepes and I couldn't flip any of my crepes. I got a couple right. I got a couple good ones in there. Oh, Bubba. All right, so I'm not really measuring this because I've only had 2.5 grams of carbs today. So I will eyeball maybe 1 tablespoon. Is this grossing anybody out? Sour cream on pulled pork. I'm gonna make it better, I promise. I promise. Oh my God, this is so much sour cream. Are you having coffee and tea? Yes, I'm having coffee in the morning with heavy cream. I'm not as much of a tea drinker now that it's getting warmer, but man, oh man. In the wintertime, I drink a lot of tea. And last time I did carnivore, I didn't let myself have any artificial sweeteners. This week I am. Heather is keto AF this week. Let Barnaby lick the sour cream lid. Oh. So my kid is a little sensitive to dairy. I know that looked really mean. I would actually give him pork. Or I hear you guys. We just re-upped on the checkups. So that you guys don't think he's, you know. Hey, sit. Good boy. Sit. So you don't think he's deprived. I'll give him a little dental bone. Okay, so this is the Durango smoked salt. I'm only doing salt and pepper, no veggies. So there we have it. Oh, so professional. It is a roll-up. And you know what else I'm going to do with these? I'm going to make with cream cheese and lox and make like little roll-ups and slice them. They're going to be so cute. And as far as, you know, tortilla replacements go, this is super low carb. Yes, it tastes like chicken. It almost doesn't have any flavor. But in a blind taste test, you'd be like, that's chicken because it's all chicken. But it does not have a lot of flavor. So you can flavor it when you're doing the mixing with anything that you want. So I got the salt at a little spice store. I think it's called the Spice Merchant. I don't think it's an Ann Arbor thing. I think it is a chain. But they had a whole bunch. They had garlic. I thought I had stuff on my shirt already. They have garlic, smoked salt. They had 2 kinds of other smoked salt that I got, and then I got some fancy new pepper. Yes, the wrap is made of chicken. I just made it, and I made some more, and they're in the oven, and they've got 2 minutes to go. It is just chicken and egg. It looks legit, doesn't it? Oh, that's really fancy. All of my sour cream fingerprints. All right. So I made a BLT. I posted the picture. It's really old, but I posted a picture of the BLT, and I just used this as the sandwich wrap. So if you scroll all the way down, Chicken Ranch BLT. If you scroll all the way down to my Instagram, it's there. Or I just posted it on my website today. Tons of pictures of like, this is what your chicken's gonna look like halfway through. This is what your chicken's gonna look like when it's done. I showed you my chicken mush at the beginning. I rolled it out when I didn't think anybody was talking to me. I rolled it out on a piece of parchment, put it in the oven, and we've got about 2 minutes to go. All right, I'm eating this, but up here so you don't have to watch me. Oh yeah, that smoked salt is everything. When you can't have like barbecue sauce, that smoked salt on that pork is so good. And I'm eating this because it's good and to show you that it sticks together. I didn't pick like the prettiest example. I wonder if you could use grilled chicken. You sure could. I have. I've used grilled chicken. I've used grilled chicken. I've used roast chicken. I've used leftover rotisserie chicken. If you've got chicken in your fridge that is, it's time to use it or lose it, make some chicken wraps. I thought I had a question. I did not. You're fine. This stuff is good. I've actually yet to find a variety of these new Diet Cokes that I don't like. I like all of them. Okay, one more bite. One more bite for science. Ta-da! So you'll be seeing my chicken wraps a lot this week because it's carnivore week. Thank you. I thought it was a good idea. I had seen people make crusts out of ground chicken and crusts out of sausage. And so, oops. I'm getting a message from somebody. So I decided to give this a shot and it worked and I was so excited. Yep, you can use canned chicken. I have never done it, but other people have done it. So most of my evidence of like, yes, you can use any chicken comes from other people because it went out in August. And so people have been using this. Somebody else said that they make lasagna with my chicken wraps like every week. And that makes me real happy. All right, those look done. So yay, I'm getting my act together. This is gonna be kind of a quick live too. Should have done this the other way around. Okay. So, you can see the ends rolled up a little bit, but not bad. You know what I'll do is I will just pull it off the hot. Or will I pull it off the baking sheet? Oh, you're okay, Barnabas. So there it is. The nutrition information that I have up on my website is for 1/4 of this because usually I cut it into quarters. Could you use canned chicken? Yes. Did I get stuck again? I eat ugly food all the time. So it's like 126 calories, maybe 3 grams of fat, 22 grams of protein, and 0.2 grams of carb. Ta-da! So I will cut these, and also if you're cutting them for lasagna, you can do strips, or you can cut them like what I did before was I actually put my baking sheet down. Once this was cooled, I put my baking sheet down and cut to fit the exact size of my, I'm from Michigan. So I put the baking sheet down and cut around it to make perfect size lasagna noodle sheets. Have you tried to freeze the wrap? I have not. I usually make them one batch like this and sort of either use them with like that day and the next day, or in a dish like those enchiladas or something. So I have not tried to freeze them yet. But I did want to say, and this is a butter knife, so I did want to say, when I was talking earlier about having them dry out, if I am going to use them in something like an enchilada, oh, Eaton Rapids, nice. If I'm going to use them in an enchilada or something, I will take a pastry brush, load them up, roll them up, whatever, and then brush it with the sauce. Because when I bake it again, and it's just open to the air, to the hot oven air, it does dry out. So I have some stories saved of when I went, yes, I'm going to post this on YouTube. So I will save this for 24 hours on Instagram, and then I'm going to put it up on YouTube, which is still going really well. Everyone is so nice. I think it's just, people who already are nice to me find me there. Thank you. I was really proud of myself when I thought of this. So they're great. Nice and flexible. You can literally use them for anything. Yes, they taste like chicken, but there's very, very, very little flavor. So start over. There's very little flavor. So if you were going to use them in something like when I did the wet burrito with all the sauce and the cheese baked on top, I would put some chili powder, taco seasoning, cumin, something like that, or onion, garlic. You can flavor this however you want. I left these plain because I'm going to enjoy them like this, these little pork roll-ups, whatever, that I just did. And I'm also going to use them in the morning for like a big breakfast burrito. Scramble a whole bunch of eggs and a whole bunch of sausage, roll it up in there with a little bit of cheese. Good! I told the YouTube community to behave. I got your back. Thank you. I don't know why I was so scared, but people have told me that they never got like heckled, harassed, anything until they went on YouTube, and it was just a whole new universe. So I'm a chicken. What can I say? All right. I think that's it. Whole recipe with pictures of the process is up on my website, which is www.ketocopy.com. I have linked this recipe in my stories to make it easier to get to the page. And there are the actual macros. I said them out loud, but I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. I know I'm in the ballpark. And like I said, you'll be seeing the chicken wrap all week long because I'm going to be making a lot of stuff out of chicken this week. And then I'm also going to be I'm going to roast a giant chuck roast tomorrow. And yeah, see, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Just on Instagram and then YouTube as of like 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to be making a giant chuck roast tomorrow, like braising it with the liquid. And I'm going to save the liquid, and then one day I'm going to do meatballs. I have a couple of recipes that I did last time, like pulled pork tacos with little cheese shells. These cheese crisps are the best cheese crisps that I have ever had. And I already threw away my container, but they were like the really thin shaved Parmesan. Anyways, $2.75. I don't know if you can hear it. $2.75 for a half an hour. And I also put a little bit of smoked salt on these. Isn't it strange to be eating the chicken and the egg? I find it strange when I think about it. Yeah, so when I first posted this, I kept saying, it's just made of chicken. Get it? It's only chicken. Get it? Technically, it's one ingredient. Because they're chicken eggs. Yep. I'm going to do this again tomorrow so I can take pretty pictures and post. I mean, good God. I did not invent baked crispy cheese. But It's the first time that I baked this. Thank you. It's the first time I baked this type of cheese. So it was an experiment. I'll post it. And then, well, I probably don't have to show you guys. You guys probably believe me. I'm going to put a pepperoni in there. How do you store cheese crisps? Okay, here's some free knowledge. I store cheese crisps like this. I really hope this works for other people and it's not some sort of freak of nature thing. Got it, chicken. So I store them like this in a little bag, a little Ziploc bag. When I go to microwave them, I microwave them like this on a little plate for like 30 seconds. The oil, they heat up a little bit and a little more oil comes out. The oil drains down and they warm up in the microwave, and then I put them really quickly like this when they come out of the microwave, and I swear to you, they re-crisp. They crisp up so well. So this is like a separate secret, but like this. Do-do-do-do. On a plate, like this. And then when they warm up, the oil drips down, and I swear I got the crispiest, I did it with cheddar. I got the crispiest cheese crisps reheating them in the microwave because I did it like this. So, not like that. Like this. I built myself a little cheese crisp holder. $2.75 for 30 minutes for me with these little Parm crisps. But again, I'm going to do it tomorrow with some pepperoni too. All right, thanks you guys. Great as salad croutons, I bet. I was going to put maybe twice as much in my little muffin tins to get perfectly round ones too, because you know how much that stuff makes me happy. Sharp edges, perfectly round and whatnot. All right, chicken wraps. If you guys make them, let me know. And have an excellent night and an excellent week. And maybe Friday I'll do the meatballs. Thank you. Hi, Bunny. Thank you guys. Have a good week.